Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dillard Center for the Arts Virtual Magnet Open House. My name is Israel Charles, Artistic Director for our Visual and Performing Arts Magnet. Once again, welcome and thank you so much for making time to be with us tonight to learn more about our award-winning magnet program. Anytime I get a chance to speak to parents, students, I'm always appreciative because time is your most precious commodity. And I want to express my appreciation for you taking the time to allow me to speak with you this evening. And for the next few moments, I'd like to share with you some of the great possibilities that lie ahead for you here at Dillard. Give you an opportunity to meet our faculty, chat with alumni, and chat with parents also, and answer any questions that you may have about this incredible program that I'll be boasting about tonight. Once I complete my portion of the presentation, you'll be directed to your breakout sessions with a chance to meet our faculty, and that's going to be based on the respective theme that you selected when you registered. All right, I'd like to start tonight's presentation with a brief video that provides an overview of Dillard Center for the Arts and all of our programs, and then I'll come back after that and we'll talk about things in a little bit more specific detail.
I feel that Dillard High School is a wonderful place for any student that is into the arts in general. Whatever it is, this is the place to be.
We have 4 fabulous programs in the visual arts, music, dance, and theater. And we have students, some of the brightest and most talented students that are attending Dillard Center for the Arts, and they're looking for an intense, rigorous artistic education.
I was impressed by the campus. I was impressed by the staff. I was impressed by, as you know, walking through this performing arts building. The facility was just unbelievable, and I tell everybody that this is, if your kid is going to go to school or if your kid is going to study music or performing arts, this is the place they have to be.
What they get here, the lessons, the teaching, the exposure, a lot of exposure, the opportunity to go to schools and to build their career from here is very strong, way more than they would get anywhere else.
If we get a student that's a triple threat, that is interested in dance, and they can also act, and they can also sing, we have intense training for them in each one of those areas to help them go to the next level.
Well, at the end of 4 years, these students are leaving with an enormous amount of ability. And I can tell you that because part of what they have to do for us in their 4th year, and they have to earn their right to be a part of, our senior thesis exhibit. So they have to have at least 2.5 GPA in their academic classes, 3.0 in their magnet classes. They have to have completed successfully at least one of their AP courses, and just basically have a clean record while they've been in school in terms of attendance and discipline and things of that nature.
We're trying to train young minds for the future, and I think it's more of a teaching of life skills, but we're using the different strands to teach the life skills. Whereas in my strand, jazz, it takes a very disciplined young person to even do jazz.
Dillard is a really great place for you to experiment and learn about the music, specifically jazz.
Most kids that leave this program will either go to a music school, music college. Some will go directly into industry, get a record deal, while others may even become business administration, and they start running companies and corporations. Because the things that we do here don't just apply to music when it comes down to having integrity, working in a group, communicating your ideas, writing songs. Some of them might go work for television stations or for radio stations because they understand the technology and people.
I'm amazed that these are just kids. This place is so professional in terms of their performance and the academics, as well as, you know, I mean, just all around. I'm very happy to be here.
The young people come here, they're coming here because of the special attention that they get, the exposure that they're getting, because people know this program.
Nobody can offer what the school offers in terms of the training and the development and the teaching and the growth in the arts.
Right when I stepped inside of my class, they made me feel so comfortable. They welcomed me with so much love and energy, and I just knew this is the place I was going to grow.
There's no place I'd rather be than at Dillard for my high school.
All right, so we're going to touch on some of the things that you got a chance to see in the video, speak in a little bit more specific detail about what our program has to offer. And let's start with giving you an opportunity to meet the Dillard Center for the Arts team. Now, of course, you just heard from our principal, Mrs. Robinson, and this amazing award-winning faculty, director of our vocal ensembles, Ms. Bahari. And these are the people that you'll be looking to meet when you go into your breakout session. So you got Ms. Bahari there for vocals. One of our 2 art instructors, Ms. Black. One of our 2 theater instructors, Mr. Cromer. Mr. Dorsey, the director of jazz studies. Mr. Fernandez, who is not only our orchestra director, but our piano instructor, pulling some double duty. So students that's interested in being in the orchestra, you'll be spending some time with Mr. Fernandez in the breakout session, and also students that's interested in studying piano. Mr. Fernandez will be your instructor as well. And you also see there Mr. Philip Jones for our commercial music program. Mr. Joseph, the second of our 2 art instructors. Mr. McLean, director of the concert and marching bands as well. And we want to offer our congratulations to Mr. McLean, who was named a finalist for the Broward County Schools Teacher of the Year. In dance, we have Dr. Paul along with Ms. Pena. So those are the instructors when we go into our breakout session dances you'll be looking to connect with. Ms. Robbins, our assistant band director. Mr. Song, the second of our 2 theater instructors. And our administrative assistant, Ms. Teresa Johnson. You'll be probably speaking with her quite often, Ms. Johnson. She'll be helping you with getting your applications completed if you have any questions there, processing your registration, all of the paperwork that needs to happen for you to attend. She will be the go-to person for that. All right, about Dillard Center for the Arts. And let's start with our primary objectives, which number 1 is to provide an outlet for focused and talented students to intensely study in the arts. And I want to focus on 2 of those words there, focused and talented. We're certainly looking for uniquely gifted and talented students to come into our program to study. But maybe you're not lighting the world on fire right now, but you have that passion, you have that work ethic, you have that determination, you have that love for the arts. But we're interested in you also, you know, and we want to talk about a focused environment, students that are focused. That's very, very important. Because if you're lukewarm about the arts, if it's just a hobby, the intensity and the rigor of the environment may be a bit much for you. But if you're really focused and you have that work ethic, you have that drive, and you have that passion for the arts, you get up every day and you just dancing everywhere you go, and your parents are always yelling at you because you're singing all the time, or they throw you out of the house because you have to because you're practicing your instrument too much. Those are the students that we're looking for to be in our program. Just that unending amount of passion to be great and to study your craft. And that's what our objective is, to provide that outlet for you. And we also want to provide a competitive edge at the next level for our students based on the training that you get here at Dillard, whether you're going to a conservatory, whether you're going to a traditional four-year college or university, trade school, military, or industry, whatever the case may be, we want to set the foundation here and give you that competitive edge at the next level. We always like to say that for our students, if a Dillard Center for the Arts student is up against a student from another performing arts school anywhere in the nation, the Dillard Center for the Arts student will have the strongest presentation. And that is because of the training and the development that we provide here. So those are really two of our primary objectives. All right. And of course, we have four main themes, and students get to choose one of the following areas to focus on. Okay. And then, of course, there's dance. All right. And inside dance, we study ballet, modern, and contemporary styles. Music, inside of music, there's band, concert, and jazz band, of course. Marching band as well is it's extracurricular. We don't necessarily consider it a part of the performing arts program, but so many of our students participate in it, and we definitely encourage students to be a part of that. But we have concert and jazz band, orchestra, vocal music, piano, and music production, studio recording, songwriting, all of that falls underneath music production. Then, of course, there's theater, where we have acting, there's musical theater, and there's technical theater as well. And in the visual arts, there's 2D, 3D studio art, sculpture, and the digital arts. You may hear me refer to our program as the award-winning and nationally renowned Dillard Center for the Arts magnet program, and that's because we're certainly proud of the numerous awards we've garnered over the years. Two in particular that we have recently received. One is the Magnet Schools of America National Award of Merit, and we're certainly proud to receive that particular award because it recognizes programs that demonstrate an exemplary commitment to academic standards, as well as curriculum innovation, desegregation and diversity efforts, and specialized teaching staffs and parent and community involvement. And so in each one of those categories, you have to reach a certain criteria to be eligible to receive the award. So we were certainly proud and excited to receive that just last year. And then, of course, there is the 2019 Best Communities of Music Education Award that was given to us by the NAM Foundation, also known as the Support Music Merit Award. The NAM Foundation is a professional music industry trade organization that are very strong advocates for music education. And this award recognized the commitment and dedication of Dillard Center for the Arts to music and the arts as innovative learning opportunities for a well-rounded education. The award also recognized that Dillard Center for the Arts demonstrates an unwavering commitment to providing comprehensive music education for all students. So we're certainly proud to receive the award from the Magnet Schools of America, as well as the NAM Foundation for the great work that is going on here at Dillard Center for the Arts. All right, so you've got a chance to look at some of our national awards that we're very, very proud to have received. Let me give you some more compelling reasons to think about attending Dillard Center for the Arts next year. And you've heard me talk about that intense artistic development. And one of the things that we try to do is combine that with a very strong academic program as well. All right. So at Dillard Center for the Arts, you don't have to choose between one or the other. You're going to get a strong academic program, and you're going to get a strong visual and performing arts experience. Preparation for competitive life after high school. And, you know, you're here tonight, you're thinking about what you're going to be doing for high school. And guess what? In 4 years, you're going to be considering what you're going to be doing for college. You'll really be doing this same step again. And this is what high school is about. High school is about getting you ready for that next level. And I can really say proudly that based on our track record, based on what we're doing with our students, based on the schools that our students are attending, we really work hard and we specialize in preparation for competitive life after high school. When you get a chance to talk to the alumni that are on tonight, if you get a chance to speak with them or chat with them, you can talk with them about this and what we were able to do. Our students are going to these great colleges. They're not calling me back and say, hey, Ms. Charles, you didn't get me ready for this. No, they're there and they're excelling and they're making their imprint known at the schools that they're attending. Okay. So our graduates become professional artists, entertainers, leaders, and contributors to society. And, many of our graduates attend some of the most prestigious schools in the nation. And in most cases, they're going on full or partial scholarships. And that's one of the things that we're certainly proud of. Here's one of our alums. You might know this guy, right? Jason Derulo, international recording artist, superstar, right out of the Dillard Center for the Arts vocal magnet. And he also took commercial music classes as well, developed his songwriting skills. Crystal Lee Naomi was in our dance program, but she's an actress now, starred in the HBO episodes of Dear White People. She's also been on CSI. She's in the Tyler Perry series Sisters. Miss Cherry Torres on the national tour for Hamilton, right out of our theater program. And it's Daniel Bernard Romaine, one of the premier violinists in the nation. Of course, out of our orchestra program here. Two other guys out of our orchestra program, black violin. There's just a big spread in the the weekend paper about these guys. Very proud Dillard graduates, often connecting with us to try to do what they can to give back to the program. There's my man, Patrick Bartley. He was in our jazz program here. There on the left with the saxophone. He's posing with the group, the Chainsmokers, after one of their performances on Good Morning America. You can also catch him on Late Night with Stephen Colbert, sitting in with the band there. You've probably seen some of these beautiful traffic signal boxes on the corners throughout the city. Well, that's our very own Ruth Barot. She has painted many of those right out of our visual arts program. Just a couple of years ago, she graduated. She's doing a tremendous job. And there's my main man, Kent Jones, on the right there with DJ Khaled. And he's out of our commercial music program and our jazz program. And you see them posing with DJ Khaled and his gold record there from a couple of years ago. So here's a small listing or a sampling of where our students are throughout the United States studying. You see some very, 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 very good schools here. We've got the HBCUs covered as well. We have students that are at nearly all of the state schools also. And we don't get students into these programs on these full scholarships or these partial scholarships if they don't bring the academic criteria with them. The fact that our students have gone through this program and they are here at these different schools, making their mark as a Dillard Center for the Arts student and excelling, that lets you know the type of well-rounded program that we have here. All right, we're delighted to have with us some of our alumni, and I've asked them to join us tonight to participate, to be available to you for Q&A, to talk about their transition, their preparation here at Dillard Center for the Arts and their transition into the next level. And joining us tonight is Miss Summer Camargo from Juilliard. She will be with the band students. Miss Noisha Noel from the University of Florida will be with our dancers. Miss Michaela Queely, who is currently studying at New World, will be with the theater students. James Lee St. Louis, currently at the Rhode Island School of Art and Design, will be with our visual artist, and Miss Anelia Wells Miller, who's currently at Florida State, will be in the vocal room. I've also asked some of our parents to join us as well. Miss Kyle Harris, whose daughter graduated from the program several years ago, is currently at Columbia College studying music in Chicago. Miss Christina Colonna, whose son is currently a senior in our band program, and Miss McCoy, whose daughter I think is a graduating senior, will be graduating from UCLA this year in theater and dance. If you see them, you can reach out to them via chat. Please take advantage of these resources and talk to the students and the parents that have come through the program, and they can give you their perspective as well. Some other compelling reasons. We talked about that diverse curriculum, and that's the curriculum that supplements that focal point of an artist's studies with additional fundamental training in complementary areas to provide that well-balanced experience. So what are we talking about there? We're talking about, and I think I mentioned earlier in the presentation, how Jason Derulo, he was a vocal student when he was in our program, but he took commercial music also and worked on his recording, his songwriting skills and getting those developed. Michaela Quealy may be able to talk to you about how she was a dance student, but she starred in about 4 of our major theatrical productions. So that ability to be at a place like Dillard Center for the Arts, where you can have that area of focus, but then you leave and go study with someone that has exceptional pedagogy in another area that can give you that enrichment so that you can get all of the great things that we have to offer here. You may be in a great theater program, at your local home school. All right, they may have a very fine, respectable program, but are you going to be able to get dance classes there? Are you going to be able to take vocal technique training at that same school? Probably not. Plus, you may not have the exceptional instruction like we would have here. If you're in the band and you want to take music production, well, you're certainly not going to be able to get that at another school, because there's no other school in the county that has the recording facilities that we have at Dillard. So that diverse curriculum, that's what we're talking about when we speak on that. This is a sample of the track, what you'd be taking over 4 years if you were in one of these particular areas of study. And then, of course, dance, the different types of dance classes that we have, the different theater classes, visual arts. These are the courses that you would take over the 4 years that you're in the program where we're developing you. So this could be a typical schedule. This is what your day might look like when you're coming in as a freshman. Our school day starts at 7:40 and ends at 2:40. And you have 8 classes that you take throughout the year, but we're on the 4x4 AB block, which means that you will take 4 classes one day, and then you'll take the other 4 classes the next day, and they kind of alternate. So we call our days blue and gray days. So for instance, if you look at the schedule here on the screen, you'd see that you would take periods 1, 2, 3, and 4 on what we call the blue day. All right, and again, the classes start at 7:40, they end at 2:40, and then you might come back on the next day, which let's say is a Tuesday, and you'll take your gray day classes, which would be periods 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, again, school starting at 7:40, ending at 2:40. All of the classes are an hour and a half long. And so that schedule kind of rotates. You can have a blue day, gray day, blue day. They alternate throughout the entire year. All right. And then somewhere in there, we'll have your lunch period, of course. You may go to lunch after 3rd period or after 7th period. And then you come back for your final period, which may be period 4 or period 8, depending upon the day that we're on. All right. And you can see there you would have possibly 3, in some instances, maybe 4 performing and visual arts classes based on your theme. Okay. And when you come in as a freshman, you really only need to take an English, a math, and a science. Your social studies kick in your 10th grade year. So you might pick up a foreign language in that freshman year, get your foreign languages done in your freshman and sophomore year. So now when you get to be a junior and a senior, your schedule begins to open up and you have much more flexibility in terms of taking a variety of different courses, whether they're within your area of focus or if you want to take courses that complement your area of focus, right? If you're in dance and you want to take theater, or if you're in theater and you want to take some dance courses, we've had students that have come in as theater majors and they take ballet, and they take ballet for several years and they do outstanding, and they go on to use that at the next level. Another compelling reason to attend DCA, we have got a beautiful facility. I'm talking about 3 performance venues and a proscenium theater, a black box theater, a recital hall. No one else in the county has that. 3 instrumental music rehearsal spaces, 2 vocal rehearsal spaces, 3 dance studios, 4 art classrooms, a 2,500 square foot art gallery, 4 theater classrooms, 16 winger practice rooms, a commercial music lab with 25 iMac computers, 2 recording studios. I didn't even mention the art lab and the music theory lab that are full with computers, and a partridge in a pear tree. We've got it all here, and it's all under one roof. The facility is state of the art and it's beautiful, and it's the perfect place for learning. And of course, we're not all arts here. And as I was saying earlier, just coming back to the academic piece, we have to have our students ready to go, not only artistically, but academically. That's the only way we get to brag about these great schools that they're going to. And so it's important for us to have a strong academic program. So we have the Cambridge program here at Dillard. We have the AP classes, access to AP classes, honors courses, as well as dual enrollment options. So anything that you would typically be able to get at any other high school, you would be able to get that while attending Dillard, to get that academic enrichment that you need to get into some of these great schools. Just a few other things to touch up on. We are a countywide magnet, okay, which means we offer countywide transportation. That means I'm going to send a big yellow limousine at least within a 1.5 mile radius of your home to pick you up, bring you to school, and take you home daily. And in the event we have some after school activities, we do have activity buses that run starting at 5 p.m. So if you have a practice after school, you need to stay for whatever reason, tutoring, whatever the case may be, you can catch the activity bus at 5 o'clock and it'll bring you close to your home as well in the evening. So countywide transportation is available to any student, whether you live in Hallandale or Parkland, Lighthouse Point or Pembroke Pines, or anywhere in between. We can get a stop arranged for you. All right, let's talk about the application process. You can apply now. That's right. You can apply, well, maybe not right now, but the application window does open tonight. And so at 12 midnight, you'll be able to submit your application. And you can apply online. We'll make sure that we have an easy link for you to follow from our website at browardschools.com/Dillard High. And that will take you directly to the application portal. Once you've applied, we will contact you by email to schedule an audition date and time. We haven't determined the audition dates at this moment yet. I'm pretty certain that the auditions will be held virtually. And some of the instructors may discuss what that audition process may be like in their breakout sessions. The registration process will be done online virtually. We're going to send you a digital packet. You'll be able to complete that online. It's a fillable PDF. You'll be able to type in all of your information, give us a digital signature, and we could get your registration moving on our end. Our audition requirements are posted on our website. You can find those again at browardschools.com/Dillard High. All right, we told you about the audition requirements. There's also an academic criteria for entrance into the program, and that is a level 3 or higher on both your reading and math FSAs, and your GPA should be at least a 2.0. Now, we'll probably be looking at, if you're an 8th grader, we'll probably be looking at your 6th grade FSAs because we didn't have a FSA administered in the spring because of the pandemic. I do want to say, if you don't have that level 3 on both of those, I want you to audition anyway. I want you to apply anyway. Now, should you pass the audition, there's a magnet panel review process that you could participate in. And what that does is it allows us to put together an academic portfolio outside of your test scores for us to review and provide an alternative to meeting academic criteria that way. You know, you may have great grades, but maybe just not testing well. There's other avenues that we don't want that test score to be the determining factor as to whether or not you're able to get into the program. So we'll be able to work with you on that, but make sure you apply anyway, audition anyway, whether or not you're at that criteria or not. So after the audition, we will contact you by email to share the results of that audition within 2 weeks of the audition date. Now, one of the things I'd like to just emphasize here is please give us the best email contact that you have, because that's the way that I'll be corresponding with you to keep you up to date on audition information, results, and things of that nature. So when you fill out your application, please give us your best contact information available, email and phone as well. I really do appreciate you spending time with us this evening. Thank you for your attentiveness. Let me know how I could be of further assistance. My phone number is on the screen. I'm going to leave it here for a little while. And my direct email is on the screen as well. And I'll probably put those in the chat. So let me see if I could just go through the staff and introduce them quickly so that you know who is on with us. And we can at least start with some introductions, put some faces with some names. Okay, I'll start with our dance department.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Pena. I teach classical ballet and pointe, among other things. So for anybody interested in the dance program, I will put my email in the chat as well. And any questions you have anytime, follow us at Dillard Dance. You can see a lot of great pictures of what we do on a daily basis. And anytime that you want to email me or anything like that, I will also put my personal text anytime that you want to email. Not too late though. Let me know, and that's the fastest, quickest way to reach me. So nice to meet everybody, and of course, especially the dancers.
Thank you, Ms. Pena. And I don't know if Dr. Paul is going to chime in as well. We can have any representatives of the music department at this particular time. Hey, Ms. Bahari, thank you.
How are you? Hi, I'm Sophia Bahari, and I am the Director of Vocal Studies here at Dillard High School. And I'm excited to receive some new and marvelous talent. This really is a wonderful, wonderful program. As a product of going to high school in Broward County and not going to Dillard, I really feel like I could have had some other opportunities. I've had many vocal students. I've also had a lot of theater students and a lot of dance students. I've had jazz students. And so it really is a fantastic opportunity to cross disciplines and learn about some other areas, especially for theater students. I do also teach AP Music Theory, and so every music student for sure, and I think some theater students have Theory 1, and then dependent on how well you do in Theory 1, you do come to me for AP Music Theory. It's not an easy class, but we're doing okay. We're hanging in there. This whole quarantine thing has kind of got us all a little shook. Anyway, I will go ahead and leave my email also for you in the chat. And please feel free to contact me and I will get back to you, I promise, within 24 hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bahari. Anyone else from our music faculty?
Hello, everyone. My name is Juan Fernandez, and I just wanted to let you know that I teach music in piano and in orchestra. I am currently building a really good orchestra program. We have many connections from different doctorates from South Dakota all the way to FIU, which we work with technically almost every day together. We also have connections for you for all the places besides our state. So please keep in mind that also by joining Dillard High School, you will get different types of contacts that are going to help you to reach a higher level, either through college and so on. I'm going to send you guys an email exactly like everybody else. And so if you have any questions, you can contact me. And then maybe through the email, we can definitely go by phone. And if you have any questions regarding the auditions, you can also do it there. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. McLean, and I'm Director of Bands here, along with Ms. Michelle Robbins, who's the Assistant Band Director, and Mr. Christopher Dorsey. I don't know if he came in and spoke already, on behalf of the Jazz Band Department. And so I'm still at the school. We're getting some stuff worked out right now because I also conduct the marching bands. And so I'm so excited to see so many people on the call this evening. And I want to offer up my email address, just as everyone else did. I think Mr. Charles might already have it out there for everyone. But if you have any questions, concerns, if you just want to introduce yourself to me as we get ready to go into our audition season, I'm so looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys. And I'm glad that you're here because this is obviously the best place to be if you're talking about playing music. We're fundamentally driven. We've been traveling across the country, obviously not this year. This December, we were supposed to be going to Hawaii with the marching band, but unfortunately, COVID canceled that. But we're very excited, we're very passionate, and we're looking forward to meeting all of the parents and students.
Thank you so much, Mr. McLean. Anyone else from?
This is Mr. Dorsey. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Dorsey.
Yeah, I got a bad connection. That's why I don't have the picture on. But I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Christopher Dorsey, Director of Jazz Studies at Dillard Center for the Arts, the nationally renowned jazz program. And any young people that are interested in having a bright future, especially in music education, in particular jazz studies, Dillard is the place for you to be. When the guys at the big schools, the Juilliards and the Manhattans, when they're looking for that special student, they call me up and they ask me. As a matter of fact, the University of Miami just called me the other day, and they're looking for some talent from Dillard. So there are great opportunities here, and just as everyone else did, I'm gonna leave my email address in the chat. If you have any questions, especially when it comes to the audition, I really want to encourage kids to audition and talk to us about the audition process so that you can present yourself in the best possible light. Look forward to seeing and meeting a lot of you young people. Until then, I will sign off.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey. And anyone from our theater department would like to chime in at this time?
How do? Hi, my name is Mr. Song. I believe, unfortunately, Mr. Cromer, I don't know if he was able to get in or not. I know we reached our cap here. So I am one of the theater directors at Dillard. And I can honestly say I've worked at several community theaters in my old hometown. I got to see a lot of the facilities in my old district. I've seen a few of the facilities around in Broward. We have an absolutely beautiful theater building. We've got a wonderful black box. We've got a spectacular proscenium stage. As Mr. Charles was saying, we've got a costume shop, a scene shop that would make some professional houses envious. So we really have a wonderfully diverse program, because a lot of the time when people think of theater, they think of just the acting component. And there are all these things that have to support the acting with lighting and costuming and scenery. And we very wonderfully have all the resources to help instruct students in not only the acting component, but also in all the tech that really helps to support the performance. And if there is anybody who's interested in theater tech, that's honestly where a lot less competition ends up being in the theater world. They don't always get the credit that the actors get, but I mean, I've had people who have studied doing stage management and then they've gone on and gotten summer jobs at SeaWorld and Six Flags, and it's just really put them above everybody else when they then go seek professional employment because they've had that real life experience. We're really set up to make sure that our students have the opportunities and are treated like they're in a professional environment. We try to do 4 main shows every single year. Last year we did AIDA, we did the show Tracks. We were all set to do a show called Delightful Quarantine right before COVID happened. That's not a joke. That is literally the show that we were getting ready to open about 3 days before the school shut down. So we do a lot of programs. This year we have already done regional competitions, and we try to make sure that everybody in the program realizes that it's the expectation that they compete. If you're in a performance magnet school, you should be performing, you should be competing in every opportunity that comes to you. And I'm very happy to say last year we took home something like 40, 50 trophies. We got, I think, almost all excellence and superiors. This year we got all excellence and superiors and our one act, which we did an entire show that we wrote in the class, recorded on Zoom and phone recordings and things like that. We edited it together. We submitted it to competition and we got a superior, and we're going to be taking that show to state. So we are a very competitive, very professionally geared program, and we want to help you guys realize whatever your goals are in theater, whether that's performance, whether that's tech, whether that's script writing, which is one of my personal areas of focus. Mr. Cromer specializes in musical theater. So we've got literally everything that you could want to do with theater right here at Dillard.
Thank you so much, Mr. Song. And visual arts.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Joseph, and I hope you guys can all hear me pretty well. I just want to thank you all for coming out this evening and being a part of this open house. One of the things I just want to share real quick is I know a lot of you guys right now are in a place where you're in middle school, and right now the future seems a little bit uncertain, but realize that with time everything passes. So this whole COVID thing that's going on will also pass, and then we'll get on the other side of this, and then we can really truly get to doing all of the creative things we really love to and enjoy doing full time, and express ourselves in the many ways that we enjoy doing that. As the visual arts teacher, one of them here at Dillard Center for the Arts, I've been here for 21 years. I'm also an alumni of Dillard and graduated from the program as well. And I gotta say, coming back to Dillard and working with the students, developing their talent, helping them to go to the different programs and schools so they can pursue their careers and their ambitions has been quite a joy for me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of you guys jump on board and pursue your careers as well. We're one of the best programs in the entire country. There are colleges that come down to visit us, especially because they know the talent base that's here at the school. And I've been here for 21 years, but colleges have been coming through to our program for 21 plus years, just to recruit students from our visual arts magnet program. And the bar is very high for what we expect from you guys, but with a lot of hard work and meeting the challenge, all of you guys are capable of being very successful in the programs. It just takes a lot of work. And that's why we're looking for the best students who are committed to this work. And that's in all of the disciplines. So thank you for coming out this evening, and I'll pass it over to Ms. Black.
Hello, everyone. It's great to have you all with us tonight, and great to know that there's all these creative people that are ready to join a great program. I teach 3D art, and that includes sculpture and pottery and many forms of media that you would get to explore within the 3D format. I also teach honors and AP art history. Our programs are tied in with the college board, so you have the opportunity to gain college credit for the classes if you reach a high enough score, and you get, you know, incredible background and knowledge in the area of art history that you can take into a college program. We've had, I think so far this school year, we've had about 8 to 10 art schools that have visited from all over the country. Incredible programs. It's a program that if you are interested in doing something in the arts, you can't be in a better place than at Dillard. It's the place to be. It's a lot of work, and you're going to work hard, but you're going to be part of a family of people that will help you get to the next level. And so we'll, you know, be super excited to meet you and see what you're up to and what you're interested in, and helping you further your goals. So we're happy you're here.
Okay, Mr. Joseph and Ms. Black, I do have a question in the chat about what the auditions for visual arts are like. What are they like? Could you kind of just give us a little insight on that?
Okay, I can touch on that briefly. Basically, as students who are coming in for an audition, we're looking for several different things from you guys in terms of a portfolio. But one of the main things you're going to do right off the bat when you come in for an audition, you're going to come on in and you're going to sit and you're going to draw for us directly. And in this case, it would be virtual. So you would be setting up a situation at your home, and we would have you live on camera like we have everyone live on camera right now. And you would actually draw for us with a setup of some objects that you have in your home. And we would watch you draw for a period of 30 minutes. Aside from that, what we would also request from you is that you have a portrait drawing, self-portrait of yourself, a figure drawing, which is a drawing from head to toe of yourself or someone else. We would also ask to see an abstraction drawings, which is an abstract piece of work, which can be non-representational. And we also would like to see a landscape and 3 sculptural works that we would want you to bring in. And those would be all items you would bring in the day of the audition for us to see. And of course, you would email your images over to us because we're not coming in face to face right now. And then aside from that, we would just ask that you respond to an essay portion as a part of your audition. And if you have any letters of recommendation from any of your teachers, that's fantastic as well. And we would also ask that you bring in any additional sketchbooks, you know, in terms of work that you might have outside of the audition requirements. And those would be some of the things that we would ask for on the day of the audition, okay?
Okay, I did get a question about being a part of 2 programs in the chat, and sometimes it is possible. We really evaluate each case on each student on a case-by-case scenario. There are some possibilities where you can participate in 2 themes. It also depends on how far you are academically in your academic progression. So there are possibilities to do that. Those are things that I like to talk with the parents and the students directly to see what is the best fit for you. Okay. Ms. Bahari, we have a question in the chat about the vocal audition. Could you share what the vocal audition is like?
Yes, sir. I am well aware that there are many middle schools that do have vocal programs in place. And so there is a sight reading and a rhythm reading portion of the vocal test. But for those students that have proficiency, I like to see demonstration. But for those students that do not, it's not necessarily going to count against you, especially if you haven't had the opportunity to learn those kinds of things. There is another portion of the audition, and I do require you to kind of teach yourself to sing an Italian art song. It's a lot easier than it sounds, and it's available on YouTube, and the sheet music is there and the keys are there, because I want to see how really, really focused you are on really trying to get into this program, especially if you have no technical singing experience whatsoever. I want to see the kind of work ethic that you have. And the second selection that I ask for is sung a cappella, the Star Spangled Banner. It is one of the hardest selections to sing well, and there is an opportunity to go into many, many different keys, which we don't want. And so I just want to try to test how proficient your ear is at knowing or figuring out, where do I need to start so I can hit the high notes at the end? How low do I need to begin? And not change keys or modify halfway through because you started in the wrong place. So those are the two song selections I'm looking for, the Star Spangled Banner. And the other song is called Caro Mio Ben, and it's actually on our website, the listing, but I'll type the song in the chat. It comes in a low key and a high key, depending on what you think is best for your vocal range. I'm okay with you even just learning the notes if you can't get the language, but I would like to see you put forth effort to show me that you have tried to learn this song.
Yeah, and as we get a chance to talk with each one of the instructors also, I do want to encourage you to text them directly if you'd like. Send a message directly to them through the chat. That way you may be able to get your answer a little bit faster. And I do apologize. We were set up to send everyone into their breakout rooms, but unfortunately tonight we've had a few more technical difficulties than I was prepared to solve. So I do thank you for your patience and your flexibility in joining us this evening. Mr. Joseph, there's a question about the self-portrait. Does it have to be realistic?
It does have to be realistic, that self-portrait, because it's a self-portrait of you. I'm looking for a portrait that actually looks like the person that's sitting in front of me or that I'm speaking to in conversation. So when I'm looking at that drawing on that piece of paper, I should see something that resembles you and not some caricature or cartoon of you, but it should look just like you. So down to the blemishes, the wrinkles, whatever it might be, you know, the acne, you name it, you know, put it on there. So if you have a scar somewhere on your face, your body somewhere as a part of that portrait piece, then I want to see it in there. So don't leave anything out, and you want it to be as realistic as possible in terms of what we're looking for. And it can be in color or black and white. So your choice.
And Ms. Black, could you give us some examples of three-dimensional artworks?
Oh my goodness. Well, the sky's the limit. Okay. Of course, one of the first things that people think of is pottery and clay and carving. And so we have an incredible program and ability. You know, we've got kilns and we've got potter's wheels, and so a portion of the year is typically, even though we're not in a typical year this year, typically a portion of the year is spent diving into the basics of learning pottery and getting on a wheel and getting a good understanding of the basics of working with clay. And then we move on to other materials, everything from plaster to styrofoam and wood and found objects. And, you know, sculpture is a very diverse art form. And so we touch on many, 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 many different elements when it comes to that. So this year, right now, we're using everything from paper and cardboard and wire and found objects and sticks and rocks and you name it, anything we can get our hands on. All of these things make potential wonderful sculptures, and really that's part of what's exciting about sculpture. So and then, you know, your own creativity gets to go into all of it as well.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Black. There's a question about the audition date, and we haven't determined the exact audition date, but once you apply and we have your correct information, we will be forwarding you more information regarding the auditions, which typically will take place in February. But we may have a pre-screening process between now and when the application window closes. So just stay tuned. And again, the key when you apply is to make sure that we have the best email and phone number information for your parent so that we can stay in communication with you and your parent also. Okay, the audition requirements are available on our website at browardschools.com/Dillard High. browardschools.com/Dillard High. So for those of you that would like to look at the vocal audition material, it is already up for you. Mr. Song, could you introduce yourself one more time and perhaps put your contact information in the chat if you haven't? Mr. Song is our theater instructor.
Yes. Was there a question specifically that I missed, or you just want the whole spiel again?
Well, just wanted to know who the audition would be with for theater and to get the contact person.
Gotcha. I did put the email earlier in the chat. I'll be more than happy to put it in once again. My name is Mr. Song. The other theater director is Mr. Cromer. I am primarily in charge of things like improv, straight play acting, and playwriting. Mr. Cromer is primarily in charge of technical theater and musical theater. So it really depends on what your specific field is that you're looking at as to who would be reviewing and kind of having the last say over your audition. We both look at all the auditions, but if we have a tie, sort of whoever is the specialty and for that field sort of breaks the tie.
Okay, a couple other questions here I'm trying to go through in the chat. If a student doesn't have experience in sculpting, can they still apply, Ms. Black?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, very good.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Okay. And can someone from our band department, Mr. McLean, Mr. Dorsey, talk about the audition process for someone that would like to go into band? We're waiting on Mr. McLean or Mr. Dorsey or Ms. Robbins. I can tell you that the audition requirements are on our website. They consist of scales and a prepared piece, and there'll be some sight reading also. So you'll have those three elements, at least 7 scales. I think we have them listed at our website. The prepared pieces are downloadable, and for jazz, it's the same thing. You have some jazz prepared pieces with the accompaniments that go with them. You can download those at our website as well. And then there's an element of sight reading in that band audition.
Hey, Mr. Charles.
If there are specific questions regarding the etudes or the ability to access them or anything like that, that's another thing. You can reach out. You definitely want to make sure that you're as prepared as possible when it's time to come in and do the audition. So definitely reach out if there are issues with accessing the material.
If we could have our alums just chime in, those that are with us, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you were doing while you were here and where you are now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michaela Queely. I am a 2017 alumni of Dillard High School. I was in the dance department as my major, and as Mr. Charles said, I was fortunate enough to also dabble in theater while I was at Dillard. And I'm currently about to be a graduate at New World School of the Arts in Miami, and I go there for music theater. I'm trying to think of what else. This is my last year, and if you have any questions about how it was kind of being in both programs, I could tell you. I know Mr. Charles kind of mentioned you know, it depends on what your grades are like and what you've been doing in school to determine if you could be in both programs. And I was fortunate enough to also be doing dual enrollment at that time. So I had a lot of free time on my schedule to be able to go to theater class and also still maintain my dance classes. So like Noisha already did, if you have questions, I'll put my information in the chat so you can message me.
Thank you, Michaela.
So my name's James Lee, and I'm a 2020 alum. I just graduated. Um, Currently, I'm supposed to be attending RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, but I'm taking a gap year because of the pandemic, and also I was able to get a studio space at Bailey Contemporary Arts for the intermittent period between, you know, the gap year, like graduating and then going to college. And so right now, I'm essentially what you would call a full-time artist. I get paid every single month. I have a stipend, and I am the artist in residency at Bailey, and I'm creating a body of work of paintings currently for the actual space, and I'll be having an exhibition this coming February in 2021. So that's what I'm up to right now.
All right, thank you, James Land. And hit these guys up directly in the chat with your questions directly to them if you'd like. Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Summer Camargo. I am a trumpet player. I went through both the wind orchestra and the jazz band. I graduated from Dillard Center for the Arts in 2019, and I'm currently a second-year undergrad at the Juilliard School, and I'm studying jazz trumpet. And I'm going to put my Instagram down below. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions, and it's great to meet all of you.
Thank you, Summer. Good to see you.
My name is Amelia Wells Miller, and I graduated in 2019, and I actually started off in the theater program, and that was my major, but then I switched to the voice program, I think in about like 10th grade, but I had always taken voice classes, like show choir, and yeah, I go to FSU right now. I'm a second-year voice performance major. Couldn't have done it without Miss Bahari and Mr. Charles. I was headed on like the musical theater path, and that really was not for me because I'm a classical singer, and they helped me realize that. So if you guys need any help, I'm going to put my Instagram in the bio, the chat. I'll be here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noisha Noel. I am a 2018 graduate of the Dillard High School dance program. I also graduated from Parkway, for anybody that's there. We're in the same vicinity. I'm currently a junior majoring in dance at the University of Florida with minors in theater and mathematics. Proudly Haitian and Bahamian for anyone that's out there as well. That's pretty much me. I put my Instagram in the chat, but I can put it again for y'all because I know this chat is just booming. Thank you, Do It High, for bringing me back. It's always a pleasure to be back. It's always great to come back into the community because that's something that Dillard definitely has for alumni and current students alike. It's just having that family that you can always come back to. So I won't take up too much more time, but if you have questions, feel free to direct message me in the chat. And again, I will put my Instagram in the chat again. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Noisha. These guys were all outstanding students in our program. We're certainly proud of what they're doing, and they're representing us well, and they're making their marks known where they are. Ms. Pena, are you available and able to talk with us about the dance auditions?
Well, this year will be the first time that we probably will not have physical bodies in the space. So we're still determining what is the best course of action. Will it be a video submission, which we did with students that auditioned over the summer? Will we have a list of things that we would like to see you do? A recommendation letter is always nice from a teacher that can say that you've been a good student, that you've been focused, that you're disciplined, because dance, specifically ballet, well, all the art forms, I'm not going to say that, are very disciplined. So, but if it's something that you love and it's your passion, then it's something that you want to do. So we would probably either email the information out or have it on the website, the Dillard website, once we determine exactly, and sometimes things seem a little scary, like you might, oh, I've got to do sculptures and I've got to do this, but it's really not, something to hinder you or to make you feel overwhelmed. On the contrary, we want to see what you can do and give you every opportunity. And I think I can speak for all the teachers when I say that. So as soon as we have a little bit more of a clearly defined, sometimes we take dancers that have never danced, but they have some ability and natural talent, but they just haven't really been able, maybe to attend formal dance lessons or things like that. So you don't have to be the prima ballerina or Misty Copeland to get into our program. But we do expect you to be dedicated and to be open to learning new things. So as soon as we know, we'll probably put it on the site, or I put my email like 3 times in this chat because it's just going and going. So, and even my cell number, so you can reach me anytime, and we'll have that information pretty soon. In about a week or so, I think we'll know, Mr. Charles.
Thank you so very much. And can you do commercial music and theater? Yes, that is possible. Do you offer screen acting? Well, we have acting classes, and acting classes transfer to the screen or the stage. We do have our audition material online for piano that is available. You can start applying tomorrow. The application window is actually going to open at midnight tonight. So you'll be able to go to our website tonight. I'll have an easy link there for you. Again, it's browardschools.com/Dillard High. And I will have the link up right after we finish this presentation so that you can click and go right to the application portal. All right. We are doing a hybrid. The question is, are we 100% virtual? We're doing a hybrid. There's some students on campus, very few, but most of them are online taking courses.
I'd like to mention, if Mr. Charles, we could just for a second, I believe Antonia is here. We just got news this afternoon that Antonia was accepted at Point Park. So we're so thrilled because it's one of the top, I think, 8 dance programs in the nation. And she is phenomenal at everything with a really strong ballet core. So is it okay to see if she can just for a minute, maybe talk a little bit since she's present?
Sure. Is she online with us now? Absolutely.
Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Antonia Scott. I'm a current senior at Dillard High School, class of 2021. Yeah, the dance program has been great. I've been in it since 9th grade year, but I've also dabbled in musical theater. I've competed in thespian competitions before, so that's really fun. So you can definitely do both. But dance is definitely my passion. That's what I want to do. So I've been doing that for a while now. And like Noisha, I also went to Parkway too. So that's pretty cool. And yes, recently I have got accepted to Point Park. I've also gotten acceptance to AMDA and Dean College, I believe, which is in Massachusetts. So I'm weighing my options right now. And yeah, if you have any questions about college admission for dance application processes, things like that, how the school is, we're kind of hybrid right now, so it's a little different, but any questions, I'll leave my information in the chat as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Antonia. I think I probably saw Antonia in a talent show competition when she was maybe 5th grade or something, and 6th grade. And I walked up to her on the spot and said, when you get ready to come to high school, I got a place for you. And she definitely came over and has been a great asset to our program. Very, very proud of the work that she's doing, and she's going to be fantastic moving forward. There are a couple of other questions. There's a question here about our academic program. We talked about how our students have access to the Cambridge program, access to AP courses, honors courses, dual enrollment options. Okay, I have on with us Miss Brittany Lee Wright, who is the coordinator of our Cambridge program, and I'd like her to come on and just say a few words about our Cambridge academic program, give you an opportunity to ask any questions about that as well, and of course she'll have her contact information available if you want to reach out to her directly. Ms. Wright, are you available?
I am. Good evening, everyone. I hope you have gained a lot of insight and had some great conversation. It was great conversation when I hopped on. As Mr. Charles said, I am Brittany Lee Wright. I am your Cambridge coordinator. And so I am here pushing the academic component. I have taught at Dillard for a while now. I'm the literacy coach, and for the purposes of this meeting, I'm going to focus on Cambridge. And so coming to Dillard puts you in a very unique situation where you are able to, do the magnet courses and focus on the content areas that you love, but also receive very rigorous academics with our new Cambridge program. And every year we're adding to it. And so coming to Dillard while you are a magnet student, you are able to be a part of Cambridge, which is an innovative program, which allows you to receive college credits in high school. Cambridge is an international program. And so you have 3 years to finish a diploma. Parents always love the fact that they have a partnership with Bright Futures, and receiving a Cambridge diploma and participating in service hours allows you to circumvent the need for high SAT and ACT scores. And that's usually what hinders most students from getting that 100% full ride from Bright Futures for those who are interested in a traditional Florida public college education. But I can share my email if you haven't seen it, just for any questions you might have, or right now, if you have any questions regarding Cambridge. We are developing Cambridge courses for middle school students. So it's not just for high school. So while you have to wait to high school to get a diploma, you can be exposed to Cambridge as a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader. And it also helps you to learn the Cambridge curriculum, the language, which puts you in a better position to ensure that you get a diploma when you get to high school. And that's kind of all I wanted to say. I just wanted to let you know that the opportunity existed. And so Dillard is doing it all. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Lee Wright. And I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's going a little faster than I can read. So,
oh, okay.
If there's a question that I haven't addressed and you want to just unmute yourself and ask it, feel free to do so. I want to thank my alums that are in the chat also answering a lot of the questions. Thank you so very much for your assistance on that. Any other questions that I can answer for you?
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Hello.
My name is Emma Monte. I am an 8th grader at Apollo Middle School, and I have 2 quick questions. Sorry if the first question kind of seems off, but I want to audition for the vocal. But if I want to also be in the theater, but not work as an actor, but work behind the scenes, like lights, or how Mr. Song was stating, and am I able to do that?
Sure, you'll have access. It's one of the things we talked about in the presentation that makes Dillard a special place, because you have these other classes that you can take that's associated with your major. So yeah, if you want to take some technical theater classes and you have the room on your schedule, you're absolutely able to do that.
All right, thank you. And also one last question. If I take one thing 1 year for my 9th grade year, am I able to change it for my 10th grade year?
It's possible. You know, we don't encourage theme jumping, so to speak. But we also know that sometimes a student will come into a program and as Anelia was saying earlier, she realized that she was a classical singer and she wanted to put more time in studying vocal training and vocal development. So we look at each instance in a case-by-case scenario. We do also want to try to balance that out, because we don't want the students to throw in the towel too quick after they've tried something for the first year. So I like to have a conference with the students and the parents, and I feel pretty confident that we'll find the best place for you. So any event that happens, it is an option for us to look at.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Hi, Dr. Charles. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Thank you.
I'm Susan Chow. I had previously emailed you. My daughter currently attends Polo Park in Palm Beach County. So we are moving to Coral Springs soon, I guess, depending on how the pandemic works out. But does she need a Broward County student ID or student number to apply for the magnet program? And is there like a deadline for the application? Because I know it's like a little bit different how Broward does their school versus how Palm Beach County does the choice program. So if you could give insight on that, that'd be great.
Absolutely. The window is probably going to close in February, so we do have a little time. Yes, you will need a Broward student number. If you want to email me, I'll walk you through that process. I just need to refresh it. I think it's a matter of going to any school in Broward. You just cross the Palm Beach County line and you're in Parkland or
yeah, I'm literally like right there. So we're here, but we haven't like officially moved since they're still doing distance learning. So it didn't make any sense to like transfer schools for her last year. But she's definitely interested in dancing. She's in company and taking like dance 6 days a week at a dance school in Boynton Beach.
Fantastic. Well, we'd love to have her. And
awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much.
And thank you for putting that summary of information in the chat for us. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah, because I do Zoom calls all day long and the chat goes by so fast. So if you have like 100-something people, I mean, it's 99 now, but I figured I'll just take notes like I do normally. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And we're going to recruit you also as a parent so you could be the designated Zoom tech person for Mr. Charles. Could have helped me get out of some of these jams I had tonight. Thank you so very much for the question.
My pleasure.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a difference between musical theater and just theater? Like, are those separate?
They're in the same discipline. Mr. Song, would you like to tackle that one?
Absolutely. So you can be somebody who has a musical theater focus, and you will still be learning a lot of acting technique, because in order to do musical theater, you have to also be able to do just regular stage acting. But if you are not a musically inclined person, much like myself, we don't want to overload you with musical classes, with learning choreography and singing and vocal technique, if that's just not your thing. There are tons of people who are very successful who have never touched musical theater, never will touch musical theater, couldn't be dragged onto a musical theater stage at gunpoint, and then there are some people who couldn't dream of doing anything else. So if you are somebody who is interested in musical theater, we just have some extra classes. We may have a little bit less of a focus with certain components of acting, and maybe certain components of improv. You may have a little bit less tech, but you get more focus when it comes to dance and music. And if you're not a musical theater person, then we tend to concentrate more on just stage acting techniques.
Okay.
And with that, if I can talk to a point that Mr. Charles mentioned earlier, when it comes to doing multiple disciplines, one of the young ladies that we had compete this year that actually got a superior, she was also in the one act and got a superior rating with the one act. She, I believe, was either originally a vocal student or at the very least is a theater student with a lot of vocal focus. The student that we had last year that actually won the regional, I forget what it's called, the regional choice, audience choice, was very heavily into musical theater, and vocal. I don't know if Ms. Bahari is still here. She might know a bit more about what he took earlier. But I know he frequently went on, he would do some trips with us for theater, and he would do some trips with vocal.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thank you for the question. Any other questions?
Mr. Charles, can you hear me?
Hey, Ms. Harris.
Hey, how you doing? I didn't want to interrupt. You had so many great questions from these students. This was great with the parents too. Great job. My name is Kyle Harris. My daughter graduated in 2018 as a vocal major, but I'm also the president of the Dillard Arts Foundation. And we will be looking for parent volunteers when things kind of get up and running again. Like I said, my daughter graduated in 2018. She was a vocal major. Miss Bahari is her hero. And she's out in Chicago, and she will be releasing her first album within the next couple of weeks. So we're very excited about that. But I just want to say to the parents, if the parents are still on and if they're not and the kids are listening, it'd be great to have your parents get involved. My daughter's no longer there. I have 2 other colleagues, one whose daughter also graduated, but we will be looking for parent volunteers when you guys come into the school. And it's we're there to support every single department. So we look forward to seeing you and hopefully your parents as well.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. I know Ms. McCoy was on, and I saw her in the chat room. Thank you for your support as usual, Ms. McCoy.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to everyone. And I'm truly excited on how many were able to get on. And I know the numbers have dwindled because the hour has gotten long, but it really, really demonstrates not only the parents, but also the students really concerned to really get involved in their craft. And I truly believe in what Dillard has to offer on not only from the honing of the craft, but also for the academia portion of it. I'm a 2nd-generation Panther. My daughter's a 3rd-generation Panther. That's Joy. She's currently a senior at UCLA, a musical theater major. Dillard prepared her academically to compete and also to be able to audition for the school. She was a dance major but also participated in the musical theater aspect of it. With the help of Ms. Bahari, she was able to be a better singer. She's a triple threat. Joy was a non-studio trained student who came from Parkway, like a lot of you guys are coming from, and with the help of Ms. Pena, gave her the great foundation in her ballet in order for her to be able to compete. Even her freshman year at UCLA, she was in the Chinese Film Festival, oddly enough, for that. So there's so much to be offered. Dillard is not one-dimensional. And I encourage you guys to spread the word, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. And again, I'm a proud Panther and also a proud Panther mom.
Thank you, Ms. McCoy. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Once again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate my faculty for allowing me to call on Audible, and things didn't work out quite the way we wanted them to technologically wise, but we tried to do our best to answer everyone's questions. You should have gotten plenty of information in the chat in terms of who to reach out to. If you got an invite tonight, you probably got my email already. So don't hesitate to email me if there are any other questions. If you have questions for any of the faculty members, so you can send them to me and I'll get them to those instructors to respond to you as well. So I wanted to say thank you again. Thank you to my parents for their support, the faculty, our alums that helped me out tremendously in the chat room, answering questions. Really thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And we're going to say good night, and we hope to see you in the application folder and then at the auditions. Thank you very much and good night. I'm Israel Charles, Artistic Director at Dillard Center for the Arts. One of the things that we're trying to do here is make sure that we create an avenue for exposure to the arts for all of our students. That means when they're going to college and they're auditioning for scholarships, we want the Dillard Center for the Arts students to have the best presentation. We're excited that we had a documentary titled Sweet Dillard that featured Chris Dorsey, who's our Director of Jazz Studies, and the impact that he's having on young people going through his program. I think South Florida PBS has really been critical in a lot of ways. Great programming, whether it's documentaries on prolific artists, whether it's a concert series. Those are the things that South Florida PBS brings to the table to help us with what we're trying to do also, and that's just generate that exposure to the arts.
South Florida PBS, shining the light on our community and celebrating Black History Month.
My name is Israel Charles. I'm the Artistic Director for the Dillard Center for the Arts. Well, we're doing The Wiz, that wonderful Broadway classic that is an urbanized version of the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Hi, I'm Caroline Campos and I am the stage manager of the show. I have to make sure the cues are on time, the band is on time, the actors are in their places, the costumes are done, the props are set, the sound is good. I have to just make sure everything is right. I like the whole show really because a lot of people did a lot of hard work for it, and I think the whole show should be recognized for what it is. It was a very hard show to put on, and I don't think a lot of people can do it, and I'm thankful that it happened.
Hi, my name is Paris Webster and I was Dorothy. I've always been a dancer, but then I've always had interest in singing and stuff. But since I was a dancer, I was like, I'm not gonna sing because I'm not a singer. I haven't been professionally trained to sing. But when I tried out for Bring It On, it kind of built my courage and I was like, let me try out for The Wiz, see what I can do.
Only that I want to heart. Your witness?
When I first started playing it, it was taught that I should be very, tight and stiff because he's made of tin. But they said as I progress, I start to loosen back up and just, do my thing.
Mama's such a strong woman.
Hi, I'm Davion Jones, and I played the Lion. I think the Lion, personally, I feel that he makes the show really exciting because I guess he's the comedic character in the show, and he is very extra, and I think I'm very extra, so it works.
How does a scarecrow walk? I mean, I'm stuffed with hay. How do you stand? Do I stand? Do I bend? I think with my choices, which was I chose to stay bent all the time. So it's if you think about it, if I'm stuffed with hay, I won't have enough structure to stand up, but I don't think I'd fall backwards. So I figured bending the knees is what would keep me grounded.
Because I'm evil with everyone today.
Hello, my name is Imani Brown, and my role is Eveline, the Wicked Witch of the West. She does her own thing. She's very funky. She has a nice, strong, soulful voice, and that's my genre of singing. I love singing that way. And those are mainly the roles that I get casted in.
For me, I love this when the scarecrow came. That was my favorite scene. One of my favorite parts is the part when we're easing on down the road and we're singing, and then out of nowhere, I forgot whose idea it was, but I start easing on down and the music stops and I'm still going, and they're like, no, stop. And I'm like, what? What's going on? Oh, we're lost. I think that's one of my favorite parts.
What I want people to take away from the show is that don't take your parents or whoever you're living with or your guardians for granted. You'll get a lot of lessons from Out of the Wiz in a good way.
What I find most fulfilling is the audience, knowing that I put in a lot of hard work, a lot of suffering into the show, that it's all worth it in the end when they have a good time. I like watching them laugh and I like getting emotions out of them.
One of the things that we like the community to realize, as well as the parents and the students, is that when we do these productions, it's not just about coming out and seeing the production. We really think that we're doing theater at a high level, so we want people to not only come and enjoy that, but invest in our young people. We think that that's so important because they're doing so many positive things now. And we really, for as much as we want them to be entertained, we want them to also cherish the fact that they're investing in their futures. And these kids need it, they deserve it. They work tremendously hard here at a magnet school for the visual and performing arts. And so the thing that I try to do as artistic director is make sure that the seats are filled so that they can perform before appreciative and enthusiastic audiences. And that's what they deserve.
As we were discussing the challenge of removing the graffiti, as well as the posters that were constantly creating an eyesore in the neighborhoods, the Broward Municipal Services District, acronym BMSD, internal committee members met and discussed what could be the potential solution. We kept the conversation evolving until we decided on wrapping the traffic signal cabinets. Then we discussed about including Colford with that conversation, as they are part of the internal committee as well.
It had me thinking, like, I wonder if my work was really that much of an impact to the community, because usually when I create my work, it would have like messages of female empowerment, things I would like to do for fun. So because he's easily recognizable, just basic things like having shadows and outlines can pretty much depict his face, and I pretty much already let you know that, oh, this is Dr. Martin Luther King. There's nothing more to think about.
Ruth is exceptional in the sense that she has a lot of drive and motivation and dedication, and not to mention her work ethic is exceptional. I mean, and also her portfolio. So she had an incredible talent. And I think a lot of people saw that talent in her.
The county is stepping forward and making a greater effort to unite with the community in planning these types of projects. If we're going to do something of art, natured, or that has an expression about the community, we make a specific effort to reach out to that neighborhood and say, hey, what would you like to see? Join us at the table. Tell us how to get it right.
Para que la gente se le quite esa loquera que tienen, que vean cosas formales. Bueno, bye. Seeing this on the walk to school is like, yes.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I like it. I love it. I think it's amazing.
What do you love about it?
It looks so beautiful, that girl. Amazing.
It's really nice. Like, I like the fact that before it was really horrible to look at, but now.
How you did that? Yeah. How you did that?
On my computer with a tablet. I use Photoshop.
Yo, that's dope.
My takeaway is it's all positive. It's all positive. It's positive for Ruth as a young artist, and I think it's really going to be an influence on her peers.
The Board of Broward County Commissioners, County Administration are proud to have worked with Ruth Barote on this project. We're proud to have the Central County Community Advisory Board members give their stamp of approval and provide input. We're very happy that the Broadview Park Civic Association, that they came together, and the kids at Meadowbrook Elementary, they all took a part in this. So when they see this project on their streetscape, they can know that they were part of history and creating something in their neighborhood that is uniquely theirs.
And for me, I'm glad that I could turn this into something else too, because maybe next time it might not be traffic cabinets. Hopefully I do a whole wall or another piece of property. Just hope next time it'll be on a bigger scale for me. I'm ready to level up.
Fort Lauderdale's inner city, there's a demanding music teacher.
My first name is Mr., my last name is Dorsey.
Students say they've never met anyone quite like Mr. Dorsey.
Who was it that messed up over here?
He expects so much.
That's not good.
With so little patience for excuses.
Some of you guys have the posture of somebody that's gonna mess up.
Do you come at this that music, while important, is incidental to a much bigger lesson?
Of course. The biggest thing that I'm trying to teach is I want them to understand that in life, you're gonna have struggles.
17-year-old Kieran Hitzman knows those struggles. He lost his father 2 years ago to cancer.
There is an emptiness, and if it wasn't for Mr. Dorsey, I'd probably be less of a person than I am today.
Jazz, says Mr. Dorsey, like the real world. There's improvisation, rhythms that may be unfamiliar, beats that change when you least expect it.
As impressed as I am, what would Mr. Dorsey say?
I could have done more inflections.
Yeah. He would tell us where, we can get some work on it.
Yeah.
18-year-old Rashawn Salam hopes to join 4 of Mr. Dorsey's previous students who went on to Juilliard.
What's it like when Mr. Dorsey calls you out?
It's embarrassing. He's not subtle about it. It's about the music, but then bigger than that, it's about life.
The Dillard Jazz Band will find out next week if they'll go to New York to compete.
Sometimes you may come up short, even if you do your best, okay? And
the lesson there is?
The lesson is, if you do your best and you have no regrets, you're all right.
You won.
You won.
Doing your best on life's stage, even if you don't win every time. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Fort Lauderdale.